Local Media.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Kansas Missing and Unsolved podcast. And joining me from Arizona down there is Derek. And joining us tonight, got Tatum on camera tonight. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Doing good.
All right. Yep. Had a nice day here today, 70 degrees. Really nice day. I'll take it over the 108 any day.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
Trisha Arnold.
Misty Hilton. Bring JP home. Hashtag. And Trisha Arnold. Don't forget to share the feed. Yes, please share it far and wide. Hey, Donna. Hey, Scott. Hey, Christopher. Hey, Misty. Looks like we got about 50 on the show right now.
Nice.
Rodney Cox, how you doing? Rodney, how you doing, Nikki? Tim's also in the comments.
I know.
Well, we are working on having a guest on the show tonight. We're just trying to see if we can get her hooked up better here. So she's having some connection issues, so hopefully we can get her on here after a bit. Hey, Kathy, how you doing? Doing all right tonight, Derek? Usually you're a little more chattier than usual.
Yeah, I'm just looking at these comments.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Well, you want to go ahead and get in some cases?
Sure.
All right, let's go ahead.
All right. Okay. Let's see here. This one is Skylar Needham, and we have covered him in the past, but I have done a new flyer for Skylar at his mom's request and added some information on there, and hopefully we can get it on camera as well so people can see it. And I am looking for what in the world is going on here. Trying to find it. There it is. Gosh darn. Okay, Skylar Needham. This is an unsolved homicide from Kansas City, Kansas, August 15, 2021. Skylar Needham was shot and killed in Matney Park in Kansas City, Kansas. Wyandotte County, Kansas Sheriff's Office were called to Matney Park near South 39th Street and Shawnee Drive shortly before 5:30 in the morning on August 15, 2021, and found Skylar's body in his car. His death remains under investigations, and deputies would like to talk to anyone with information about Skylar or what may have happened in the park shortly before his death. We do know recently that one arrest has been made in Skylar's case. U.S. Marshals arrested an individual in Ohio. They are looking for and believe there are others involved in Skylar's death besides the one. So if you have any information regarding Skylar's death, please call the TIPS hotline at 816-474-8477, or you may call and speak with a detective at 913-573-8072. Or scan the Crime Stopper Say It Here QR code on the bottom of the flyer to submit a tip that way as well. And see if we can't help find out who all is responsible for Skylar's death.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm seeing Miranda down there now. So it looks like she's in. Good deal. And it looks like we got some others that have jumped in the comments. Melinda Ewan. And Cindy Ann Trotnick. How you guys doing, Cindy and Melinda? And Misty, you are very welcome. She says thank you all for everything you do. You're very welcome. Hey, cool.
Are we going to go ahead and bring Miranda up?
We can, or we can cover JP's flyer first and then bring her on. It's whichever way you want to do it.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. And John Paul, J.P. Partons, missing from Hillsborough, Missouri since May 16th of 2021. He's 19 when he went missing. He'll now be 20. 6'1", 167 pounds. He has brown hair and brown eyes. His last leaving his residence in High Ridge, Missouri. He did not have an active cell phone at the time of his disappearance. Again, at the time of his disappearance, he was 19. He's now 20. 6'1" and weighs 167 pounds. Has brown hair and brown eyes. If you have any information regarding John's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Jefferson County, Missouri Sheriff's Office at 636-797-5000 or the Hillsbury, Missouri Police Department at 636-797-9999 or the Missouri State Highway Patrol at 573-526-6178 or toll free at 866-362-6422 and see if we can help get JP located and back home where he needs to be. And with that, we will go ahead and bring Miranda on and talk a little bit further about JP.
Hey, Miranda.
Can you hear us, Miranda?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Hi, Miranda.
Hi.
So tell me a little bit about John Hall. I know that we've talked about JP a lot. He's been gone now for over a year. Tell us about what he was like and what type of person he was.
So he was something special, let me tell you. He loved being outdoors. Like, he loved to go bike ride or skating. Tried the whole skateboarding thing. That was a hot mess. But his big thing was like to play hockey. Like, that boy was amazing whenever to playing hockey. He was all about making other people happy before himself. You could have been having a horrible day, and he would always do whatever it took to make you happy, make you smile. That
Right.
boy would have given you the shirt off your back or off his back and not think about it.
So with his disappearance, this was not a normal behavior from JP to just take off and no one hear from him, correct?
No, it's not.
He normally was in
This is
contact
not
with
normal.
someone. Okay. And
Yes.
I know law enforcement, I've spoken to law enforcement, and they are actively pursuing some different leads and stuff, trying to get him located and everything. And trying to figure out, because I know his case is kind of a little bit different, and there's a lot of elements and stuff to it that they're hoping to sift through, right?
Correct.
So if by chance, if JP was on here, what would you say to him? Or if anybody knows his
I miss
location,
him.
what would you tell him?
I love him and I miss him.
Yeah. Well, we're glad that you are here, and we're really working hard to get his story out. I know that there's videos going out about him. Justice of Missouri Missing, I know they have been really active in his case as well, trying to get information out on him and everything.
Yeah.
And if there's anything that any of us can do to get him located, we definitely are trying to work together as a team and get that done for him.
Thank
there
you
anything
guys
else
so
you
much for everything you've done.
You're welcome. Is there anything else you want to say about his case at all?
Just if someone knows the thing to clean, to come forward with it. He is very much loved, very much missed. Me and my fiance, we We've been lost, and my daughter, she's been lost without her best friend. Those two are twins in a pod.
Yeah, you said they're
He
like
was her
brother and sister.
protector.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was her protector,
And
she's completely lost.
right. And if anybody has any information on the case and you feel like you don't want to go to law enforcement, please reach out to us. Let us help you if you have information on any of our cases. If you feel like you can't contact law enforcement, let us help you get through that process so we can get JP located. Ricky, Derek, do you have anything?
I'm just kind of going through the comments here, and Misty Hilton saying we love you, Miranda Wagner, and Donna Baker saying big hugs, Miranda Wagner, and Kathy Jacobs. I'm not sure to say the last name. Tumura says he always called us, and Kelly Kesey
That's my mom.
Kirkpatrick says
Yeah.
they pray this helps bring JP home. Excuse me.
Kathy is my mom.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And Donna Baker saying, hey, Kelly Kesey Kirkpatrick, love you, lady. And Nikki Clark saying prayers JP is brought home safe. And Kathy says, we miss you so much, JP. Please let us know something. And Misty is commenting hashtag bring home JP. And Karen Langston, hashtag find JP. So quite a few comments for JP there.
Yeah. I've noticed since I've been helping,
he's very much
very loved.
Yeah, definitely. You can definitely tell. And again, I'll share those phone numbers again real quick here. If anybody knows anything, of course, the Jefferson County, Missouri Sheriff's Office number is 636-797-5000. Hillsboro, Missouri Police Department, 636-797-9999. Missouri State Highway Patrol, 573-526-6178, or their toll-free number, 866-362-6422. And, no matter how small of a piece of information you think that it might be, call it in. You never know. It could be something they need.
And there is additional stuff underneath his flyer, information and stuff like that underneath his flyer as well on all three of our pages. And I know there's information out on Justice for Missouri Missing as well.
And Misty is saying, I personally don't know JP, but I've been working on this case for over a year or for a year. And I've gotten close to the family. They deserve answers. Yeah, definitely they do. I agree. And Karen's saying we won't stop until we find you.
Well, Miranda,
ladies have been phenomenal.
Yeah. Well, Miranda, we really appreciate you coming on the show. If there's anything else, that you want to say, or always reach out to us. But we do appreciate you coming in, letting us get to know JP a little bit better, and really want people to share, his flyer and all of our flyers to help these families get some resolution and get their loved ones back home to them.
Yeah. And Donna Baker saying we definitely won't stop. I made a promise to never stop. And then Misty is saying Donna Baker's the one who got the word out about JP being missing. Thank you, Donna. Yeah, definitely, Donna. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
And
that
Kathy,
woman has been my rock.
Yeah.
Good deal. And Kathy saying, I know someone knows something because stories keep changing.
Yep.
Yeah. No, definitely. I'm a firm believer that somebody knows something.
Yep.
It's just a matter of stepping up and doing the right thing.
Yeah.
But hopefully somebody will. I mean, we've covered them before. We'll keep covering them until something breaks and somebody is held responsible.
Yeah, we just want answers. My family deserves answers.
Yeah, you do. And hopefully we can help you get those answers.
I appreciate all of this, guys. Like, you just don't even understand.
Well, you're definitely very welcome. Derek, did you have any questions or anything for Miranda?
No, I don't actually.
Oh, wow. You usually have 101.
No, you guys covered everything.
Cool. Okay. And Donna is saying, please come forward. Someone, anyone. He deserves better, definitely. And then Lydia
He
Jane
does.
Wathen says, we miss you so much, JP. So hopefully we can help you get some answers for JP and figure out where he's at and bring him home. Is there anything you have any more, Tatum, or?
No, I don't think so, unless Meredith does. Other than the fact that, been in contact with law enforcement, they are working on his case. They do have some leads and stuff that has been coming in from some different sources, and they're trying to work through those and see, what is what, and see if they can get him located. He has not been forgotten in law enforcement's eyes either. So they've been really working behind the scenes, trying to sift through everything in his case. So hopefully something will develop soon, or someone will come forward or get an answer and get him back home, because he is very much loved and missed. I can tell by the people I've talked to.
Yeah, you can tell. I mean, all the comments for him and everything, and just listening to Miranda talking about him, you can definitely tell he's loved, he's missed, and he's wanted home.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Miranda.
What was that, Miranda?
I said I miss seeing him skate. I want to see him skate again.
Yeah.
Right. Well, Miranda, we really appreciate you coming on. I know this is really a tough time for you, and you're in our thoughts and our prayers and everything. So thank you for coming on the show. I
appreciate it, guys.
You're welcome, Miranda. All right. No, Miranda, thank you for being on, and hopefully we can help you get you those answers that you need, because I know you need them, you deserve them, and we're going to do our best to help you get them.
Yeah.
Now we're going to move on to Michelle Lee Fennell. She does use the name Brittany sometimes. She went missing from Tuscumbia, Missouri on November 11th, 2017 at approximately 12 p.m. According to Michelle's children, she left in a truck, no description, that is possibly owned by a man named George. Michelle does not have her cell phone and is considered by law enforcement to be endangered. At the time of her disappearance, she was 45. She'd now be 50. She's 5'3", weighs 110 pounds, has brown hair and brown eyes. Michelle's ears are pierced, 2 on the left and 1 on the right. Her right eye is pierced either 1 or 3 times. She also has a scar on her left hand and a tattoo on her right thigh of a vampire bite that's black and red in color. If you have any information regarding Michelle's disappearance, or you know her whereabouts, please call the Miller County, Missouri Sheriff's Office at 573-369-2341 or 573-552-7189, or Missouri State Highway Patrol at 573-526-6178, or their toll-free number 866-362-6422. See if we can't get Michelle located and back home to her family.
Yeah, that's a long time.
It's just really vague. I mean, and her kid said she left in her truck, but they couldn't give a description of the truck, and it was possibly owned by somebody named George.
Wow.
So it's pretty vague.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, real quick here, Kathy is saying, thank you all so very much from the bottom of our hearts. You're very welcome, Kathy, and again, hope it helps. And Donna's saying they said they are still working on it and following up on leads. Hope and pray they are, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Let's talk about Cindy.
Alrighty. It's another unsolved homicide. Cindy Pinky Ann Easom. She was found with multiple gunshot wounds to her head in the Card Creek area near Elk City, Kansas on the morning of December 7, 2017. She died a short time later. She was 33 at the time of her death. Hunters in the Card Creek camping area called the sheriff's office to report what they thought was a body floating in the water less than a mile south of the boat ramp. Sheriff's deputies and paramedics from Independence boarded the hunter's boat and recovered the body. Montgomery County Sheriff's Office and the Kansas Bureau of Investigation continued to search for whoever was responsible for Cindy's death. Cindy was seen in Baxter Springs, Kansas, 3 hours before she was found shot, according to a news release. Investigators think she was in Miami a few hours before being seen in Baxter Springs. If you have any information regarding Cindy's death, please call Montgomery County, Kansas Sheriff's Office at 620-330-1000 or the KBI at 1-800-572-7463. There's also a governor's reward of $5,000 for information leading to the arrest and conviction of the person or persons responsible for Cindy's death. So, again, if you have any information, no matter how small you think it might be, go ahead and call it in. It may be something that they haven't heard yet or don't have yet that they may need.
Yeah, we've covered her a few times.
Yeah.
2017.
Yeah. It's been a few years.
Yeah. This is another flyer I've seen a few times, Rochelle.
Yeah. And we've covered her a couple of times, too. She is missing from Moscow, Colorado since August 15th of 2019. She was 30 when she went missing. She'll now be 33. She's 5'6", 120 pounds, black hair and brown eyes. She was last seen walking away from her Moscow, Colorado home. She left all her belongings behind, including her phone, her identification, her medication, car, computers, tools, and her pet dog. She'd only been living in the area for about 3 weeks prior to her disappearance. She'd previously lived in the Columbus, Ohio area. She may be living homeless. Although police can find little evidence in her disappearance, her mother believes she did not leave of her own accord and may have been a human trafficking victim. Rochelle does suffer from bipolar disorder and schizophrenia and has been prescribed medication for her conditions, which she left behind. Rochelle's nose is pierced. She has numerous tattoos, including the phrase "live like a lion" on her upper chest, a star behind her ear, a skull on the back of her wrist, stars on the inside of her forearm, a cat with a bong on her shoulder, and other tattoos. Some are pictured below. Rochelle was last known to be wearing a black tank top, khaki shorts, black Nike shoes, and a silver circular barbell in her nose. If you have any information regarding Rochelle's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Alamosa County, Colorado Sheriff's Office at 719-589-6608 and see if we can't get Rochelle located and back home where she needs to be.
And yesterday marked her 3-year anniversary of being gone.
Yeah, you're correct. That is correct.
Sad.
Yep. And let's see here. Aaron's saying, sorry for ignorance on this, but is this the case I heard about on the radio when they were pursuing a manhunt for her husband in some national park? I don't believe that has anything to do with Cindy. I don't believe. I think that was sounds like the Gabby Petito case, actually. I'm not sure. Let's see. And Misty is saying, all these senseless murders and people vanishing is truly so sad. I pray for each and every single one of them. I hear you there, Misty. I hear you there. And here's Esther saying, hey, Ricky and Derek.
Hey. So we got 2 cases that go together. This first one is Christopher Shipley.
Mm-hmm. Okay. He's missing from Riley County, Kansas since December 4th, 2001. He was 18 when he went missing. He would now be 39. He's 5'9", 130 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes. He was last seen in Riley County, Kansas on December 4th, 2001. He and 2 fellow K-State students, Kyle Chapman and Timothy Michael Bennett, decided to go sailing after the day's classes were over. Chapman owned a yellow 15-foot racing sailboat. The 3 of them set out on the Blue Valley Yacht Club in the Tuttle Creek Cove area on the west side of Tuttle Creek Lake, leaving their shoes on the dock. They never returned home. 2 days later, their boat was later found empty and adrift on the lake. Its keel and rudder detached, and the jib sail and its bag inside the boat. That same day, Timothy Bennett's body was found in Carnahan Creek on the east side of the lake, half a mile from the boat, still wearing his life jacket. Chapman and Shipley were not located in spite of an extensive search. Bennett, Chapman, and Shipley were all experienced sailors, qualified sailing instructors, and Eagle Scouts. The weather was unseasonably mild, with temperatures reaching as high as the 70s, but sailing conditions that day were reportedly terrible, with strong winds. Authorities believe they ran into trouble in the water. Again, at the time of his disappearance, Christopher was 18. He would now be 39. He's 5'9", weighs 130 pounds, has brown hair and brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Christopher's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Riley County, Kansas Police Department at 785-537-2112 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get Christopher located and back home.
Wow, that's old.
Yeah.
And then this one's related, you said, Kyle Chapman?
Yep. And let's see here. He's missing from Riley County, Kansas since December 4th, 2001. He was also 18 when he went missing. He would now be 39 as well. He's 6 foot tall, 150 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes. And again, he and two fellow K-State students, Christopher Shipley and Timothy Michael Bennett, decided to go sailing after the classes were over for the day. Chapman owned a yellow 15-foot racing sailboat. The three of them set out from the Blue Valley Yacht Club in the Tuttle Cove area on the west side of Tuttle Creek Lake, leaving their shoes on the dock. They never returned home. 2 days later, their boat was found empty and adrift on the lake, its keel and rudder detached, and the jib sail and its bag inside the boat. That same day, Timothy Bennett's body was found in Carnahan Creek on the east side of the lake, half a mile from the boat, still wearing his life jacket. Chapman and Shipley were not located in spite of an extensive search. And again, Bennett, Chapman, and Shipley were all experienced sailors, qualified sailing instructors, and Eagle Scouts. The weather was unseasonably mild, with temperatures reaching as high as the 70s. The sailing conditions that day were reportedly terrible, with strong winds. Authorities believe they ran into trouble in the water. Again, at the time of his disappearance, Kyle was 18 years old. He would now be 39. He's 6 foot tall, weighs 150 pounds, has brown hair and brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Kyle's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Riley County, Kansas Police Department at 785-537-2112 or KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get Kyle located as well and get him back home.
That's crazy. Two people.
Yeah, it's just weird. They were able to find the one, but the other two they've never been able to find.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. 20
That's what
years ago.
Shelby.
Okay. Let's see here. She is missing from, I hope I'm saying this right, Denwig, Missouri, since August 3rd of 2022. She's 28. She's 5'7", weighs between 80 and 100 pounds, has light brown hair and green eyes. Again, she went missing from Denwig, Missouri on August 3rd, 2022. Shelby's dad stated that he watched her get on the bus in Jasper County, Missouri. It's believed that she may have gotten confused and got off in Oklahoma City, unless somebody purchased her another ticket, or she could still be in Oklahoma City. She doesn't know anybody in that area. Shelby's mom lives in Wichita, and her dad lives in Joplin, Missouri. She has undiagnosed mental health issues and is believed she has hallucinations. Some days she is unable to speak a complete sentence as she has a speech impediment. She repeats herself or mumbles. Other days she appears more normal. Shelby has no phone, no identification, and no money. Again, she's 29. She's 5'7", weighs between 80 and 100 pounds, has light brown hair that is a little over ear length and could be spiked in the back, and green eyes. Shelby has a Ramstein tattoo with a strawberry on her left arm, skulls on her chest, and a tattoo of a star on her left shoulder. Shelby carries around a small, empty black purse. If you have any information regarding Shelby's disappearance, you know her whereabouts, please call the Denwig, Missouri Police Department at 417-623-2263, and the Missouri State Highway Patrol at 573-526-6178, or toll free at 866-362-6422, and see if we can't get her located and back to where she needs to be.
Ramstein tattoo. That's pretty.
I'm not even sure what that is exactly. I'm going to have to look that up.
Good luck, man.
It's a band. It's a German band.
Oh, okay.
They're a rock band, heavy metal.
Okay. I've never heard of them. Of course, I don't get out much, but that's okay.
Tell us about Jada.
Okay. She's missing from Columbia, Missouri since March 4th, 2022. She's 17. She's 5'6", weighs 215 pounds, has brown hair and brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Jada's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Columbia, Missouri Police Department at 573-874-7652 or the Missouri State Highway Patrol at 573-526-6178 or toll free at 866-362-6422. And see if we can help get Jada located and back home where she needs to be.
Yeah.
You all right, Derek?
Yeah, my kid just tried to come in here and yell.
Oh, I wondered what I was hearing.
Tell us about Taylor.
Okay. Let's see. Taylor Criswell. She is one of 3 girls missing from Garden City, Kansas since June 29th of 2022. She's 16 years old. She's 5'4", weighs 125 pounds, black hair and brown eyes. Taylor and Lucia Hernandez and Lauren McQuigg were last seen at the Juvenile Detention Center in the 500 block of West Santa Fe Street in Garden City. Taylor, Lucia, and Lauren were seen getting into a gray or silver 4-door passenger car and left the detention center property. It is unknown if they remain together. We do know that there had been a recent sighting of Taylor and Lauren in Wichita, and Lucia was believed to either be in Lawrence or Kansas City. Taylor has a piercing in her septum and both nostrils are pierced. Taylor has a tattoo on her right leg that reads, "I love you, Dad." Taylor was last known to be wearing a black jacket, black shirt, and blue jeans. If you have any information regarding Taylor's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Garden City, Kansas Police Department at 620-276-1300 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't help get Taylor and Lucia and Lauren located. And I did speak to someone recently that gave us some information saying that they have not heard a thing on either of the girls being, any more information on them at all. It's just kind of dried up. So hopefully we can get some information generated by covering them again tonight.
Yeah.
I'm hoping. Because that's just pretty crazy that there's just hasn't been anything.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Yeah.
And then Lauren.
Okay. Again, she's missing from Garden City, Kansas, Lauren McQuigg. And since June 29th of 2022, she's 16. She's 5'7", 150 pounds, brown hair, hazel eyes. And again, Lauren and Lucia and Taylor were last seen at the Juvenile Detention Center in the 500 block of West Santa Fe Street in Garden City. They were last seen getting into a gray or silver 4-door passenger car and left the detention center property. It's unknown if they remained together, although, as I've talked about, Lauren and Taylor were seen at some point in Wichita. I believe it was a silver Mercedes they were in. Yeah, again, Lauren's 16 years old, 5'7", 150 pounds, brown hair that she is known to dye, and hazel eyes. If you have any information regarding Lauren's disappearance, you know her whereabouts, please call the Garden City, Kansas Police Department at 620-276-1300 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get these young ladies located.
And then Lucia.
All right. Let's see here. Okay, again, missing since June 29, 2022 from Garden City. She's 16, 5 foot tall, 180 pounds, black hair and brown eyes. And again, Lucia, Taylor, and Lauren were seen at the Juvenile Detention Center in the 500 block of West Santa Fe Street in Garden City. They were last seen getting into a gray or silver passenger car and left the detention center property. And we know, of course, we just talked about it, that Taylor and Lauren were seen in Wichita. Lucia, there had been a possible sighting in Lawrence, and she may possibly be in Kansas City. Again, she's 16 years old, 5 foot tall, weighs 180 pounds, has dark brown or black hair and brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Lucia's disappearance, you know her whereabouts, please call the Garden City, Kansas Police Department at 620-276-1300 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get these young ladies located.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
3 months.
Yeah.
It's no good at all. 3 months missing. School starting in like a few days. Let's talk about Christopher Gary.
Right. Let's see here. He is missing from Columbia, Missouri since June 21st of 2022. He's 16, 6 foot tall, 160 pounds, has brown hair and hazel eyes. If you have any information regarding Christopher's disappearance, you know of his whereabouts, please call the Grandview, Missouri Police Department at 816-316-4985. The Missouri State Highway Patrol at 573-526-6178, or their toll-free number 866-362-6422, and see if we can help get Christopher located and back to where he needs to be.
A lot of Missouri tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, Misty saying all these kids missing. It's scary. Definitely scary.
Yeah.
And very concerning, especially when it's 3 girls like that went missing from the west side of the state, and they've been seen down in the south central part of the state and the eastern part of the state. I mean, that's who's helping them get there. That's what I want to know.
Exactly.
And to whoever is helping them get to where they're getting to, you get caught up to, and you could be caught for harboring or charged for harboring runaways. So there's that.
Yeah. That's not a good thing. Not a good look on your
Nope, definitely not.
report there.
Yep.
Tell us about Trinity.
Okay. This is one I've been trying to get made for a couple of days, and I was finally able to get it made last night when I saw that Wamego Police put out a post on her, because she's actually missing from Salina, here in Salina, since August 12th of 2022, so 4 days ago. She's 15 years old. She's 5'2" to 5'6" inches tall, 125 pounds. Has blonde hair that's dyed black or red, and blue eyes. My daughter's distracting me. Hang on just a second. Okay, it's believed that Trinity may be in the Manhattan, Fort Riley, or Junction City area. Again, she's 15. She's 5'2" to 5'6", weighs 125 pounds. Yeah. She has blonde hair that was last known to be dyed half red and half black, and blue eyes. If you have any information regarding Trinity's disappearance, or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Wamego, Kansas Police Department at 785-456-9553, or the KBI at 785-296-4017. Or your local law enforcement agency. Sorry about that. You run a commercial spot or something real quick, Derek?
Let me see what I got.
You didn't run the big fish spot at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, I forgot. All right, right back.
Yep.
Hi, my name is Brandon with the Kansas Missing and Unsolved podcast, and today I want to talk to you about another one of our outstanding cases, Charles Everett McHenry III. Charles went missing from Great Bend, Kansas on May 6th of 2016. He was last known to be driving an unknown make 2-door black car away from a house in the 500 block of Northwest 20th Avenue between Hossington and Great Bend, Kansas. At the time of his disappearance, Charles was 27 years old. He is now 29 years old. He's 6'2", weighs 180 pounds. He has black hair and black eyes. He was last known to be wearing a black t-shirt and denim shorts. He has tattoos on his left arm. One is of a cross, and it says Tyler on his upper arm, and an eagle with the flag on the lower arm. His eyebrow and left ear are pierced. He has a large scar near his left knee, a large scar on his right arm from the elbow to the wrist, a scar on his right knee, a scar on his forehead, and scars on both sides of his ribs, a scar on the bottom of the left foot, and a dimple dip in the left bicep. He has a plate in his right arm from his elbow to his wrist and 2 screws in his left knee. If you have any information regarding Charles's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Great Bend, Kansas Police Department at 620-793-4555 4120 or the KBI at 785 296 4017. And let's work and try and get Charles back home.
Okay. Should I cover Trinity again?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry about that. My daughter was trying to get my attention because she wanted my phone. That was what the whole thing was over, was wanting my phone. And Trisha, I saw her comment, she said she liked hearing my daughter giggle. She's making me laugh. Okay. Anyway, we're going to cover Trinity again, and hopefully no more interruptions. And I apologize. But anyway, Trinity's missing from Salina, Kansas since August 12th of 2022. She's 15. She's 5'2" to 5'6" tall, weighs 125 pounds. She has blonde hair that is dyed half black and half red, and she has blue eyes. It's believed she may be in the Manhattan, Fort Riley, or Junction City area. Again, she's 15. She's 5'2" to 5'6", weighs 125 pounds, has blonde hair that was last known to be dyed half black and half red, and blue eyes. If you have any information regarding Trinity's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Wamego, Kansas Police Department dispatch at 785-456-9553 or KBI at 785-296-4017 or call your local law enforcement agency and see if we can't get her located and back to where she needs to be. And like I said, I've been trying to get her flyer made for a couple of days now, and I just finally was able to get the information since Wamego put out a post for her, which I thought was interesting considering she's missing from Salina. I don't know why Salina Police wasn't the one to put that out, but Wamego was. So I'm just a little confused.
Maybe she's got family there or something.
That could be. That very well could be.
Yeah. I'm looking for a couple of flyers, but go ahead and tell us about Heaven Kaler while I'm looking.
Yeah, this is another one that just really baffles me. I mean, she's been missing, Heaven Kaler. She's missing from Fort Scott, Kansas since June 24th of last year, so over a year now. She was 17 when she went missing. She's now 18. She's 5'7" to 5'10", weighs between 130 and 140 pounds. She has dirty blonde hair and blue eyes. And there just has not been any information coming out about where she might be, or if she's with anybody, or anything. It's just everything's dried up, and we need to really rattle these bushes and see if we can't get something stirred loose. So if anybody has any information regarding Heaven's disappearance, or you know where she's at, call Fort Scott, Kansas Police Department at 620-223-1700 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. And if you're not comfortable getting a hold of law enforcement, message us here at the page. We'll relay the information on for you. Just, let us know something, or let law enforcement know something. We got to get her found.
That's way too long ago.
Yeah. That's a really concerning case.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah, it is. Too long.
This is another case we've had for a while. Eli Mitchell.
Yeah. Eli Hopkins Mitchell. And he is missing from Topeka since March 16th of 2022. He's 17, 6'1", weighs 220 pounds, has blonde or strawberry hair and blue eyes. He does use the name Eli Hopkins. He doesn't use the Mitchell. And he's suspected to either be in Jefferson, Jackson, or Shawnee counties in Kansas. Again, he's 17, he's 6'1", 220 pounds, has blonde or strawberry hair and blue eyes. If you have any information regarding Eli's disappearance, you know his whereabouts, please call Topeka, Kansas Police Department at 785-368-9247 or 785-368-9200 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get Eli located and back to where he needs to be.
March 16th. Yeah, that's a while ago.
Yeah, another one that's been a while. And Kathy's saying, look at Fredericktown, Missouri. It's unreal, all that goes on there. I have to do that. And Donna says all these small rural towns, people just vanishing. And then Tatum says we're working on covering more cases that are not getting coverage in Kansas as well as Missouri. And there are a lot. Believe me, there are a lot.
Yeah.
And thanks to Tatum, we're really picking up the pace on getting a lot of these covered too. So
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you, Tatum, for that.
Let's talk about Sanan.
Sanan Damani, missing from Kansas City, Kansas, July 14th of this year. He's 17. He's 5'9", weighs 140 pounds, has brown hair and brown eyes. It's believed that he's with Ivy Jade Perez, who's also considered a missing endangered runaway. And he's 17. He's 5'9", weighs 140 pounds, has brown hair and brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Sanan's disappearance, you know of his or Ivy Jade Perez's whereabouts, please call the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department at 913-596-3000 or KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get those two located.
And then we'll just show Ivy since you said them, both of them.
Yep. She's missing from Kansas City, Kansas since July 14th of 2022. She's 16. She's 5'5", 130 pounds, brown hair and green eyes. It's believed that Ivy is with Sanan Damani, who we just covered, who's also considered a missing endangered runaway. And she's 16, 5'5", 130 pounds, brown hair and green eyes. If you have any information regarding Ivy's disappearance or you know of her or Sanan's whereabouts, please call the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department at 913-596-3000 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. See if we can't get these two located and back to where they need to be. It's been just a little over a month.
I was going to say 30 days, 32 days or so.
Yeah.
It's a long time.
And Misty's asking Tatum to forward Sanan and Ivy's flyers to her as she is in the KCK area.
Nice.
So, yeah, we'll get those to you, Misty.
And then Zach Pierce, I believe he started out as a missing person on this show.
I believe you might have. I don't remember exactly, but I think you might have. Okay. On December 3rd, 2017, in Kansas City, Missouri, Zach Pierce was murdered in cold blood. He and a friend were walking home from Westport. They were heading to Zach's apartment. A car followed them, and two people jumped out near 40th and Walnut. That's where Zach was shot and killed. The suspects took off in a blue 2000 Jeep Liberty with a giant cargo carrier on top, and Colorado license plate. It was stolen from a home prior to the shooting. Police say this was not a typical robbery. Everything the suspect stole ended up being thrown onto a nearby street shortly after Zach was killed. Fingerprints didn't turn up a match, which means the criminals are not in the system. But if that changes in the future, they could get a hit. Police theorize that the people involved were young juveniles. Police say that because of the way this crime happened, the shooting may have been accidental. They say juveniles may not have known how to use the gun and accidentally fired, or they may have fired the gun out of panic because they were so young. To date, the Jeep Liberty has never been located. Police say it's not uncommon for stolen vehicles to be crushed, dumped in rivers, or even burned. And if anybody has any information regarding Zach's death, please call the Kansas City Area Crime Stoppers at 816-474-8477. Information that leads to an arrest or filing of charges could be eligible for up to a $25,500 reward. All information is anonymous. It's kept anonymous. So if you have anything on Zach's case that you may want to turn in, call Crime Stoppers. You can do it anonymously, and you could wind up getting a good chunk of money there for doing it.
All right. Who knows?
Yep.
And there's articles about him in that case where his friends actually spoke out about the murder, that despite the fact that they had given them everything that they had and did everything they asked them to do, they still shot him. It's really sad.
Did we want to cover our usual three, Alex, Kenny, and Dana?
Yeah, go ahead. Kenny's on the screen.
Okay. And this is another one from my hometown here in Salina. Kenny Rychek, missing from Salina, Kansas since November 4th, 2019. 69 when he went missing. He's now 72. He's 5'9", 175 pounds, gray hair and blue eyes. Kenny does sometimes use the last name Brown instead of Rychek. He does suffer from diminished mental health capabilities and is on disabilities, but he has not tried to access any of his funds since he was last seen. He may have family in northwest Kansas, possibly around the Colby area. Kenny was actually last seen at the Gospel Mission in Salina. He left there and hasn't been seen or heard from since then. He does not have a cell phone, a vehicle, or identification. His main mode of transportation was a bicycle that he would ride or push around to pick up scrap metal and take it to All Metal Recycling over on 5th Street and recycle that. And they told me they hadn't seen him for quite a long time themselves. So, at the time of his disappearance, Kenny was 69. He'd now be 72. He's 5'9", weighs about 175 pounds, has gray hair and blue eyes. If you have any information regarding Kenny's disappearance, you know his whereabouts, please call the Salina, Kansas Police Department at 785-826-7210 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't help get Kenny located and back to where he needs to be. And a big question me and Derek have been wondering about regarding Kenny's case, has anybody touched the money since he's been missing?
Yeah. I feel like the money's been spent, but I don't know anything.
Oh, Trisha's saying Chaos Divers pulled 2 vehicles out of the Kansas City River today, but not that vehicle. Wow. Didn't even realize they were in Kansas City. That's cool.
And then Dana?
All right. She's missing from Sedalia, Missouri since October 4th of 2008. She was 23 when she was missing. She would now be 37. She is 5'2", weighs 98 pounds, has brown hair or green or hazel eyes. She was last seen at her children's babysitter's home in Sedalia, Missouri. She had left the children there earlier that day so she could go out for the evening. She returned at midnight and gave the babysitter more money and asked her to watch the children for the remainder of the night. She was last seen at Malone's Bar on Main Street with a young man driving a late model red Ford F-150 truck earlier on the night of her disappearance. She left with that man at 11:30 p.m. Police have identified the man that she was with that night. He traveled to Atlanta, Georgia after her disappearance, and police questioned him about Dana's disappearance after he was arrested there on unrelated charges of marijuana possession and driving on a suspended license. Authorities haven't named him publicly, but they are calling him a person of interest in her case. He told his questioners that he and Dana parted ways after they left the bar, and he never saw her after that. She left all of her belongings behind, including her hairbrush and toothbrush, and she doesn't have any credit cards, debit cards, checking account, cell phone, or a car. Again, at the time of her disappearance, she was 23. She would now be 37. She's 5'2", weighs 98 pounds, and she has brown hair that was colored brown at the roots, black at the ends with red highlights, and green or hazel eyes. Dana was last known to be wearing a black shirt with the word Rebel and silver lettering on the front and blue jeans. She has a tattoo of a teddy bear with wings and the name Dylan on her upper left arm. She is blind in her left eye. She has a 2-inch scar on her lower spine and a staple scar on her right shoulder. Her ears are pierced 1 time each. If you have any information regarding Dana's disappearance, or you know her whereabouts, please call the Sedalia, Missouri Police Department at 660-827-7823 or 660-826-8100. Or the Missouri State Highway Patrol at 573-526-6178, or their toll-free number 866-362-6422, and see if we can't help get Dana located and back home to her family, because I know they really want her home.
Yeah, long time.
Yeah.
Wow.
On her case, I added some new podcasts and stuff that have been done on her case
Okay.
that are pretty interesting.
Cool. I'll have to finish. I started listening to them. I need to finish and see what all is on there.
And then the one we've been covering for a long time, Alexander Perez.
Yeah. Missing from Ulysses, Kansas since December 1st of 2020. He's 35 when he went missing. He'll now be 36. He's 5'11", 235 pounds. He has black hair that he shaves nearly bald and brown eyes. He had called a family member on December 1st and said he'd be coming over to do some laundry. He never arrived at the family member's home, and he has not been heard from or seen by family or friends since then. He had been staying with family and friends prior to his disappearance. It was believed that Alexander may still be in Ulysses, or he may be in Garden City or the surrounding areas. Again, at the time of his disappearance, Alex was 35. He's now 36. He's 5'11" and weighs 235 pounds. He has black hair that he shaves nearly bald and brown eyes. Has a tattoo of a bumblebee on his face underneath his left eye. He has Perez tattooed on one of his arms. He has a tattoo of a cross on a chain across his chest. If you have any information regarding Alexander's disappearance or you know his whereabouts, please call the Grant County, Kansas Sheriff's Office at 620-356-3500 or the Ulysses, Kansas Police Department at 620-356-4600 or KBI at 785-296-4017. See if we can't get Alex located and back home, because again, here's another case where family is really wanting him home and really wanting him found and brought home, and we're trying to do the best we can to do that.
Yeah.
Wow. Here you go, Tatum. Donna has put a whole long list in the comments of, here's the list to start you on cases there. Of course, John, J.P. Parton, Patrick Chapman, Amanda Jones, Betty home, bring Betty home, find Gina Dawn Brooks, find B. Waterhouse, find Ira Briscoe, find Matthew Mattioli, find Lyman Little, who is Ira's roommate, find Echo Lloyd, justice for Tim Dees, justice for Durante Martin, and apparently there's more, but I only show so much in the comments, so.
Yeah, a lot of those cases we have done, and I'm working on some of those currently now, and then some of those are new, but yeah.
We've actually covered Ira Briscoe and Lyman Little before, and Echo Lloyd.
And Betty.
Yeah, and Betty.
Gina's one I'm working on. Durante Martin. Yeah, I'm working on it, but thanks for the other ones. I hadn't heard of some of them.
I haven't either.
We'll get working on. There's a lot.
And then we got a located safe Brandon made. I'm going to go ahead and play that. We'll be right back after this.
I always like those reels.
Trisha.
Oh yeah, Brandon. Yeah, can't forget old Brandon in the background there. Yeah, can't forget Brandon in the background.
Backstage Brandon.
There you go. You doing all right, Derek? You seem kind of like you're a little down tonight or something.
I did like double the stops that I normally do today. I'm just exhausted. I'm gonna go to sleep as soon as we're done here.
Oh, okay. Wow, it was a good show though. I mean, I like them. Tatum's bringing up a good mix of cases, newer ones, older ones, Missouri side, Kansas side. Just really getting us a good, mix of cases to cover and stuff. So, and really liking how we're going the direction that we've been going with the cases and stuff. So, and I know we got a lot more to cover. So,
Yeah. There's no stopping.
right. And the next show will be next week on the 25th, I do believe. Yeah, the 25th, Thursday. Because I will be in Wichita the day before that with my daughter at a doctor's appointment. So I'll be down Tatum's way on Wednesday.
Nice.
So, yeah.
And I have been making a lot of contact with LEO, more contact. They're wanting to work with us and stuff in Missouri and in Kansas. So we have started working with a lot more agencies that are smaller agencies. They just don't have the manpower to, get cases out. But they're really appreciative of the groups that are out there trying to help.
Yeah. And hopefully we'll get some cases from them. I've been watching for you to email me some and see if they send them to us or not. And so far, nothing yet, but hopefully.
Oh, I got you a list. I got a list started.
Oh, good. Have you heard anything from the LEs that have said they're going to send cases yet?
A couple.
A couple?
So
good.
It's just,
good.
Yeah, they wanted me to go out and look at them and then get back with them if there's anything else we need. So,
okay.
Yeah. So made a contact last night too. So another one.
Yeah.
But a lot of these cases aren't being heard. So we're trying to get some of these cases that no one's ever heard or, aren't aware of, or they've been around for a long time, but never got anything. So the hope is to get more people out.
Yeah, because there are so many missing people out there and so many unsolved homicides that just do not even get an ounce of coverage out there. And that's what we're trying to do, is make sure that they're not forgotten, that they're not getting lost in the shuffle, that they have a voice.
So if anybody has cases, whether it's a homicide, we'll take cases from anywhere, but if it's a homicide, missing person, send us a message. We can be reached on all 3 sites.
Mm-hmm.
I know some people will personally message Ricky. I know I've gotten some. I think Derek's gotten some.
Yeah.
You reach out to us. I mean, we'll get their cases out there. Just reach out to us and let us know.
Yeah, you can message us at kmupod.com. People have messaged us here on the page. So, I mean, whichever avenue you feel comfortable getting a hold of us at, we're here to help. That's what we're here to do.
And if you don't want to talk to law enforcement, we'll talk to them for you.
Definitely. It's not like we haven't done it before, and I won't hesitate to. So with that, we'll go ahead and do our closing and just say, Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us together to go over these cases and these unsolved homicides, and hopefully, as I pray for every week, that they'll reach the right ears and the right heart, and they'll do the right thing and bring closure to families and bring missing people home. And can't do it without you, Heavenly Father. Can't do it without you. And until we see each other on August 25th on Thursday, everybody stay safe. God bless. Take care. Amen. We'll talk to you then.
If you or someone you know is experiencing a suicidal crisis or emotional distress, please call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255.